That's a mud turtle. I see exactly what I came here for. I see a tank of a loggerhead musk turtle. All right, so today I am doing a little bit of exploratory stuff. Look, cottonmouth track. Right down the middle. Don't know where that cottonmouth went, but came through here probably not long before I got here. I'm at a site right now where there has been many sightings over the years of a pretty good sized alligator, and I'm seeing if I have the chance to maybe sneak up on it with binoculars. I'm trying to talk quietly because they do have a really good sense of hearing. They're very perceptive, but it was a cool night and it's a sunny morning, so I'm thinking it's a pretty good chance of, if it's here, that I might be able to catch it basking. This is cool. I'm next to a pretty busy road, but I always feel like that's a good sign of a healthy ecosystem, is where you see these grasses growing in the water like this. You know, stuff can hang out in there. Things can lay eggs and let larvae grow in there. Snails, insect larvae, and then, you know, cooters can feed on that. And it's also cover. I mean, I feel like this is the way a creek is supposed to look. So I always like it when I see this stuff. Ew, that looks good. That looks like mud turtle habitat. Let's see, do we see any? I see lots of stuff scattering. This is also a great place to find a cottonmouth. So you do have to, while you're scanning the water, you do want to kind of watch where your feet go. But this is what they like to be in, just this kind of stuff where it flanks the side of the creek. All right, we have a turtle. I'm not sure if this is a striped mud, if this is a stink pot. I don't think it's a loggerhead, but I'm in classic mud turtle habitat. So let's see what we got. Oh, come here. That's a mud turtle. How about that? I'm willing to bet it's a striped mud. It's funny because they love this stuff. All this mud where it gets all these little holes in it. I always find striped mud turtles around this stuff. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. We'll clean her shell off. Yeah, you can see it's blonde underneath, and I see a center stripe right there. So this is one of the striped mud turtles that do occur up here, and they actually have faint stripes. But this is the preferred habitat, and it's this swampy, muddy stuff. So pretty cool. I'm gonna see if she'll come out for some better camera angles, and then I'll just let her go. Believe it or not, this is a striped mud turtle. You know, about a decade ago, they would have thought this is an eastern mud turtle. But actually, the striped mud turtle comes far up into Georgia, even all the way up to Delaware. They're very adaptable turtles, and I'm going to release her here so you can see their habit of disappearing into mud. Their habit of disappearing into mud. Their habit of disappearing into mud. Disappearing into mud. Disappearing into mud. All right, let's see what else we can find. Here we go, right here. So these are alligator snapper tracks. You can see where the turtle just walked right up the middle of this small little feeder stream between two bodies of water. Pretty cool. You can literally see the middle of the turtle and then where the legs were on the side. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a pretty big male. All right, right here, center-ish of the screen, looks like a last year's hatch loggerhead musk. Look at that little pink shell. Look, is that one next to it? Look, there's another one. Oh, come here. Oh, that one's like maybe a year older. Look at that, two of them. Two little loggerheads with about a year maybe, or 6 months in between. And they were just right next to each other. So, you know, with it being spring, these guys are starting to come out. So I love to see that. And I think, do I see anything over there? I don't think I do. All right, so we're gonna let these guys go. See you, my friends. Go back to doing stuff on the bottom of the creek. All right, let's keep looking. All right, right here, an adult loggerhead feeding on probably a corbicula. It's scraped out a little spot right there in some shallow water, and it's actively feeding. So that's pretty cool. There it goes. Goodbye. All right, so this is a spot I used to go many years ago. We'll see if we see anything cool. Oh, there's a loggerhead, I believe. Let's see, am I correct? I am correct. That's a loggerhead musk turtle. Look at that guy. Look how cool he is. I believe it's a he. Actually, I'm incorrect. This is a juvenile female. Let's see if we can get some up close video. There we go. Look, you can see that tiny little tail. Kind of tells you it's a female. And that turtle is about half grown. They'll get a little bit bigger than this. Probably 4 or 5 years old. There you go. Back in the day, I remember, I think the biggest loggerheads I've ever seen were in this, which is pretty wild. It's, you know, kind of a creek that just goes through some neighborhoods, but it had like Coke can sized loggerhead musk turtles. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. It'd be cool to find one of those big old tanks. It's been a pretty good day for March. It's still March. We're not even into April yet, so we're doing pretty good. I prefer this place to be a little more clear than this, but there's so much development upstream. I don't think this really gets much more clear than this unless it's a drought, and then it's so low, then it gets hard to find anything. So it's kind of a bummer that's what's happened to all of these historically good spots. I think that's a bottle. It looked like a musk turtle, but I think it's a bottle. There is also a lot of trash. You can find like 100-year-old bottles in here because back in the day there wasn't a dump. People just dumped their trash in streams, which is kind of gross and dumb, but that's what they did. And so you're able to find these like 100-year-old Coke bottles and stuff like that in here. Like, for example, here's some really old bottles right here. I don't know what that is, but there's 2 really old ones right next to each other, and it's just an old dump essentially. I see exactly what I came here for. I see a tank of a loggerhead musk turtle sitting right here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that spotted pattern. Oh, this is a big old male. That's cool. See how big this guy is compared to that juvenile from earlier. Let's get a good view of him. We're gonna get a couple photos too. Look at that guy. Big male loggerhead musk turtle. So here you go, you get like a good look at him. He's got those big jaws. Big old tail tells you that's a male. And really cool spotted pattern. That's really, really handsome. And yeah, ready to defend himself. But yeah, nice male loggerhead musk turtle. So we're just gonna let this guy go. That is that's a classic example of the big ones and why I like looking for those. It's really cool to see them when they get this big, but there's even bigger in here, and that's what I'm looking for. I think I just found another musk turtle. Come here. Let me get a good look at you. There we go. Yep. Oh, this one's like heavy staining. Makes me wonder if this one overwintered in like inside of a log or in a bunch of wood or something. Got all that tannin staining. This stuff will eventually come off. But they don't shed their scutes like cooters and sliders and stuff, so this stuff just has to wear off. But that's a little young male. Gonna let that guy go. Bye-bye. Oh, here's another one right here. Oh, right next to each other. Another almost look, these guys are almost identical in size. Look at almost identical in size and sex. So 2 young males. Look at that. They could even be clutch mates if they've stayed in the same area their whole life. Pretty cool stuff. All right, you were here and you were here. I'm gonna step over here so I don't step on you. And we'll keep looking. Got another one. Let's see. What do we got here? Female loggerhead musk. Yep, young female. I mean, she's full adult, but not yet fully grown. Very small head for a loggerhead musk turtle. They put on that head size with age and diet of hard things, but I'm just gonna let her go back where I saw her. She was right there. We're gonna veer this way so we don't step on her. Keep on looking. I've been here before, and it's funny, like one thing about the South is everybody kind of watches over everybody's space. And I've come walking through here before and found 2 guys waiting for me with shotguns, and I had to explain what I was doing. Which the funny thing kind of being is, you know, if I'm looking for turtles, they kind of have that spinning beach ball moment, and then they're turtles, and then they're just like, all right. And then, you know, by the time I explain what I'm doing, they're kind of interested. So if you're ever out herping and you come across locals, I always just tell them what I'm doing and, you know, explain the, you know, what's neat and what has drawn you to that area. I think a lot of people want to be educated. I see a loggerhead. Come here. Oh, it's a big one. That is a big old beat up male. Look at that. Missing the marginals and everything. Usually this time of year when I find a male like this, God, he's a big one. Usually when I find a loggerhead like this, it's in the vicinity of a female. And so I'm kind of looking around to see if he was loitering around a girl, but I don't see one. But yeah, there are some big old loggerheads here. Yeah, he's beat up, but he's a handsome devil, I think. Look at that broken jaw. Man, he has just been fighting and scrapping it out. That's pretty cool. There you go, old timer. Engage. Ah. All right, so I think that's gonna do it. We had a really good first turtle day of 2025. We got some really good stuff. We got the striped mud turtle. We got lots of loggerhead musk turtles. Got to see some cool habitat, and I think that's pretty good. You know, it's still only March. In the next couple weeks, as we go into April, it's gonna get even better. Gonna start going to some other sites, gonna start looking for some other species. Water's gonna clear up more. It's just gonna get all around better. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.